What's up, y'all? It's your boy Kuya P and my pal Heather, fresh out the press screening for Predator Badlands. Initial thoughts, Heather?
It's a great family movie. Take that as you will. So, I thought it was fun. It didn't feel like a traditional Predator movie to me, but that's not a bad thing. It just didn't feel like a Predator movie. Yeah, I think that's my answer. What about you?
Interesting. I think Dan Trachtenberg, that's how I'm pronouncing his name, knows Predator. Mm-hmm. He amazed us with Prey, the anime stuff that they gave us. This was cool. It's what I wanted and hoped it would be. I didn't need, little spoilers, him talking English or whatever. I wanted it to be decoded.
Big thing, and it did not happen, so that's good.
Yeah, because we talked about this prior too, and so they succeeded in that. Overall, entertained. Was I hitting the wall because it felt a little long, even though it wasn't long apparently?
No, it was only an hour and 40 minutes. It was
but
nice.
I've had a long day, so it took a little bit out of me, but it was interesting. It was cool. I probably need to see it again when I have a little bit more energy, per some of my other friends that were here.
I enjoyed it. But I had fun. It's out on November 7th. Get your tickets now. It is out in IMAX and Dolby Digital for those of you who are seeing it at an AMC.
All right, initial thoughts, review coming soon, and our dub.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the NRW. I'm Kuya P. That's Heather Hurt. You know what? It's fine. I'm Heather Hurt. That's Kuya P. And who can tell us apart? I don't know. Definitely the one with the mustache. I'm sorry. We're going to talk about Predator. We're here to talk about a movie that Kuya P and I were actually really, really excited for. And like most Predator fans, we had been waiting for a hot minute. We will be talking about the lore. We will be talking about the cast. We will be talking about the plot. We will be doing all of those things, but let's start with the trailer for Predator Badlands.
So this is your first hunt. And you've come to the most dangerous planet in the universe. You're after a creature that can't be killed. The definitive apex predator. I could help you. Well, good luck with your journey. Here, you're not the predator. You're the prey. We might not be alone in this hunt.
Predator Badlands is another part of the Dan Trachtenberg saga. It was written and directed by Dan Trachtenberg, as well as written by Patrick Asen, Jim Thomas, and John, and of course, with the characters created by Jim Thomas and John Thomas. We will talk lore, where this movie is within the franchise later on, but we're going to do the regular stuff first as a prerequisite. This film has been out for a couple weeks now, so we will go into spoilers. We will try to limit our spoilers because it's still a considerably new movie, but there will be spoilers. Just heads up. The cast includes Elle Fanning, who plays Thia, and Tessa, Dimitrius Schuster-Koloamatangi. I'm going to totally say that wrong. Plays Deck. Ravi Narayan is Bud. Michael Homick is Quay. And Cameron Brown is the drone synths. He plays literally every single one. That's a majority of the cast. This film is, even though this is probably one of the grandest films of the Predator franchise, at least personal opinion. The cast is still very small. One of the great things about the Predator franchise is that it's supposed to be small. There's not a lot of, everyone dies in a slowly diminishing way. But this film is different. I guess I should start with the plot. Deck, who is he is from he is a predator. He is going on his first hunt. He is going after the Kalisk, which is considered one of the most dangerous creatures in the universe. And he's considered the runt of the litter. So no one in his clan expects him to come back alive, and so he has a lot to live up to. While on the planet to defeat this creature, he meets up with Thia, who is, as you can tell from right behind Kuya, she's that broken synth that has come to study this planet for a very, very particular reason that has to do maybe with the Kalisk. They go on a long journey together, and well, not really that long. They go on a journey that may end up being long in the long run. With that, Kuya, what were your initial thoughts?
I was curious and interested. I think there was some speculative initial thoughts, maybe for me than others, that I just hope they get it right. You just never know. Trachtenberg did get it right with Prey, as well as the Killer of Killers, animated stuff. So just curious. But with it, the concepts, I don't think it was fully fleshed out, or at least in the teasers that we saw beforehand, where they were going to go with it. So I didn't absolutely know that it was going to be Predator focused, if you will, from the teasers that we watched. And so I was like, yeah, very curious. It can go either way. My biggest hope was that I hope they don't have him speaking in English and doing something weird outside of what Trachtenberg has already been doing. He's been giving us authentic language, which has been the beautiful thing about Prey. I didn't want like a interpreter thing to happen that the droid lady girl was going to like put to make it English. She was all of our English, which was fine. And that worked. I just didn't need my Predator speaking in English, and I wanted it to be authentic or subtitled. And, so that worked. But yeah, my thoughts were, I'm curious. I'm excited. Trachtenberg has a record now, but could have this been the fail thus far? And I will let you know when we get into the full review.
Absolutely. My initial thoughts were kind of like that. We've been waiting for this since Prey, but we didn't. What Kuya and I also talked about in our initial reaction was, this doesn't seem like a Prey follow-up. We, of course, got a wee bit of a Prey follow-up in the Predator Killers of Killers, which is another part of the Trachtenberg story. But where did this movie come in? There was no sign in the initial trailer, so both of us went. I think at least I did. I remember we talked about it in the initial reaction. There was some skepticism as to where this story was and why was he, if this was an entirely different story, why was he leaving the movie that so many people loved in the past? Like, we've been waiting for that follow-up. With that, I think other than that, we were both excited. So let's just go right into the reactions. I will go into the lore because, of course, I have a problem not loring when I talk about lore. With me, Kuya P might go into it a little bit, but let's talk full review. Kuya P.
I enjoyed it. It didn't go into and give him a translator. Again, the Elle Fanning, I think is her name.
Elle Fanning.
She rocked it and provided a good amount of humor to go along with the action. It was popcorn fun, but better than your normal popcorn batch fun. I definitely think Trachtenberg has another feather in his cap. I still want to see it connect with Prey and Killer of Killers and all of that, and see how it connects to the greater Alien universe. So I think Predator's in good hands right now. This is another great entry in his march with the franchise. I thought it was cool. I didn't love it as much as other people in my grouping. I think Heather, you and I were at the same screening. There are other people that were absolutely like, man, this was super cool. I thought it was okay. I had a good time, but I didn't love it. to me, of the Trachtenberg saga, Prey is still number one for me. And followed by Killer of Killers. I think this is a good installment, but I prefer those two over this one. But it doesn't make this a weak film, and it's just another film in this new pantheon. But I would also, for the people think I'm hating, I would also place this in the better of the Predator films. I would think the Trachtenberg stuff, along with the original Predator, are better than Predator 2, the AVPs, all the other weird Predator stuff that we got prior to. This is in the better of the Predator films. But to me, the Predator, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and give my listing right now. The original Predator will always be number one, followed by Prey, followed by Killer of Killers, and now I would say now Badlands. And then all the AVP stuff, Predator 2, those would be on the bottom of the list for me. So
Okay.
yeah, I enjoyed it. I didn't love it like everybody else. Well, I wouldn't say yeah, love is a strong word. It was a very fun film. There's not really too many notes that I would say that would make it better for me to love it. Because I certainly didn't hate the film. I guess maybe I was having a long day when I watched it, and the action was cool, but there were some points that I'm like, but again, that's probably due to my own tiredness, because a lot of stuff going on right now, we are with screenings and press conferences. But I enjoyed the film, and I was really happy that all my other fellow reviewers are happy. You want happiness for other people. A lot of people loved it, and maybe that's because they had low expectations or whatever. I don't know. But also, I feel though, I think there's some sexism there. I'll say it. I think Prey again is a better film, but I think there's some sexist male chauvinists out there that couldn't give it its full support because it was a female lead. I'll say that for myself. But I think it's a better film. And again, I think there's some my fellow bros out there, are just some women haters. And I think Prey's a better film. But Badlands was fun.
That's to go off of that. When we walked out of the theaters, I was a little bit behind KAYFABEYBABY, and I literally heard someone say that this was the best Predator film since Predator, and I'm sorry, it's not. Honestly, and we'll get into it with my review, I didn't at all times feel this was an actual Predator film. It was very Dan Trachtenberg-y to me, but this was a family film for me. Jokes, and all the jokes. If you've seen it, you understand that joke. If you haven't seen it yet, go watch it, and then you'll understand the joke. Prey was probably, I would say Prey was probably one of the best films in the franchise. I'm kind of surprised KAYFABEYBABY puts Predator 2 so far down the list. I don't know. I love that movie. Maybe I'm just not remembering it.
I don't remember that well. I wouldn't put it below everything else. It's definitely above the AVPs.
I mean,
yeah.
AVP 2 is wonderful. What movie were you watching? But once again, I'm gonna probably go into a little bit more lore with this because I love the lore of horror films. I think that it's great. I will go deep into that shit because it's just so much fun. For those of you who want to know, there is an ongoing debate as to where this film lands within the universe, within the lore. Personally, this happens just before the final episode, the third episode of Killer of Killers. Can you pause?
Pause? Okay.
Yeah. Heather, I'm talking. 3, 2, 1. Sorry about that. Quick pause there. What I was saying was that there's a question of if this film comes in before or after the third episode of Killer of Killers. To me, I believe this happens just before the events of the third episode. For those of you who know what happened, she still has the ship in that version, or are they the ones flying the ship and we don't actually see Mother? And I'm not talking about Mother, I'm talking about Mother. So I don't want to get there's a lot of speculation as to where this sits. I think that it happens just before, but hopefully we don't have to wait another 5 years to figure out exactly where that is. So no matter what, this does take place right around that third episode of Killer of Killers. I do enjoy the relationship between Deck and Thea. I think it's a very sweet connection. I will probably take the conversation between her and him where she explains what an alpha male is when it comes to the wolves, probably with me till the day I die. That is probably one of my favorite short-term monologues that I've ever heard. The writing was spot on. I will say this. I love Prey. I love Prey with all my heart. And I got to ask the Predator if the Predator was now a Disney queen, like a Disney princess. I got to do that. I love that. It's a moment that I'll take with me forever. But I actually think that the writing for this film was stronger than Prey. I don't think that the flow was as strong as Prey. I think Prey was still overall a better film. But when it comes down to it, I think that the writing, the plot behind this was stronger than Prey. And it gave us a really good look into the Predator's lifestyle outside of what we see regularly. And that's one of the things that I really enjoyed about this film. But with that being said, there were still times where I did not feel like I was in a Predator film. I did not feel like I was in a Predator movie. I felt like I was in an action adventure sequence that just so happened to have a Predator in it. That just happened to have a Yautja in it. With that being said, as always, let Dan Trachtenberg cook. Let him cook in that kitchen. This still felt like one of his movies in his sequence. I will say that I disagree with the guy who walked out and said this was the best Predator film since Predator. I don't know where in the universe you have seen no other films. I'm just going to say that. I agree with Kuya P's thoughts. I suspect a lot of that has to do with sexism and maybe a wee bit of racism. With this, but the biggest part of this is I am really excited to see where this goes next. If nothing else gets you to consider this, I am really excited to see what's next because Trachtenberg does not hold back. Something's coming. Something big is coming. Kuya P, final thoughts.
I enjoyed the film. Again, yeah, I was entertained. I'm very curious to see where they're going to go. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they integrate, as you were kind of telling, how it connected with the Killers with the saga. So I'm looking forward to them to mixing all that up. That's going to be so much fun. So yeah, let Trachtenberg cook. I'm here for it. The franchises are in good hands. I do like, I think I really put this out there with my part earlier. I do love that we further opened up what exactly is a predator, the Yautjas, the customs that these people, this species has, and who knew we would feel like some heartbreaking circumstances with the plot. And we really haven't talked spoilers, although we can, but just in regards to relationships amongst predators. The predators have always kind of played the background. They're the bad guys. And in a way, I liked that with those earlier films, because it was a different kind of a franchise. But now Trachtenberg is opening it up, still doing some killer, amazing stuff with it, but also giving us that lore that Heather spoke on. And we have that material. They actually sent us some info to put out there, but I've been so busy, I haven't had a chance to put it out. Heather might do an article. I don't know if you want to, Heather. But yeah, they gave us a ton of information to help celebrate the lore. And it's really cool how they're like going back and forth amongst the franchise and in the past and kind of, bringing those touch points from the history if you're a super fan of the franchise. And I think that's really cool. I love it. But yeah, I had a good time with this. I didn't love it. I enjoyed it. Praise a better film for me in different circumstances. But I do love what they're doing with this, and I can't wait to see where they're going to go next with it.
Yeah, and I echo all of that. Other than, I actually really enjoyed this. But the thing is I think I took myself out of it. I knew I did not feel like I was watching a Predator film. And once I accepted that fact, I was just watching a story about a predator or watching a story with the predator in it. I think that helped me kind of open up to the story a little bit more. Though, as QP did say, what happened at the beginning with his brother and his father, we aren't going to talk too much about it, of course, here, because this is already kind of long. But that was very touching, and it also puts a very realistic point on even awful aliens, they got drama. Even they got drama. Come on now. Kuya P, actually, when Kuya P walked out of the theater, he made a comment about his dad, which was really funny. I'm not saying what he said. I'm just saying that he was just like, I get it. But anyway, it's now, of course, my final point is this movie worth seeing in the theater? Kuya P might actually have a different opinion to me than this. I don't know. I think that if you want to see a fun action film, and when I say it's a family film, I don't mean take your children. I just mean it's a family film. If you want to see something that's fun and entertaining in a theater, go ahead. Do I think it's worth an IMAX ticket? Do I think it's worth a Dolby ticket? Not really. You can go see this in a regular theater and just be fine. Or, and I'm saying this as a Trachtenberg fan, if you want to wait till streaming, I can totally get it. This is not one of those movies that I would necessarily want to throw $50 at, because that's kind of the lowest you're getting for tickets for 2 people nowadays. I can totally respect that. If you would rather see an action adventure film at your home, that's great. And I will say this, our theater, we didn't really, there wasn't a really lot of reaction. Like there's some horror films where like, and some action where you have like ohs and ahs and oohs and all that stuff. This movie, not really there. It was a pretty quiet theater, so I don't think there's going to be as much of audience reaction as you could with other films. So with that, I'll leave it up in the air, but see it in regular. I'm not saying don't see it. I'm saying if you're going to spend the money, just see it in regular. You'll do great. Or wait till streaming. No matter what, it will be a fun film for you. Kuya Pete, do you agree? Disagree?
I'll always say action movies in a big theater, Dolby surround sound experience, because it's just a impact. It hits different with an action movie. But also, though, to your point, yeah, you might be right. This doesn't, compared to other action epics, it doesn't require it. Mm-hmm. But again, like I said, I will always say big theater. But I also think, so yeah, I wouldn't say of all other action epics, this is still fine. I would agree with you. It's still fine. And then also, if you have an amazing setup, I've been, and I personally, think some of the home setups we have now completely can take down any theatrical experience as well, depending on your home setup. But absolutely. Most don't. So, yeah, that's kind of like the weird line there. But I always love that you bring up that question. Yeah. Thank you. I will always go with a theater for an action film, but with this one, it's of other action epics. Yeah. F1, Dolby, IMAX surround. Predator Badlands, you're fine in a regular theater.
That's it. We don't want to go down, because once again, we really enjoyed this film. It's just, you got to admit it. And we know the economy is what it is. So we respect it. Overall though, we did have fun with this movie. If you loved this movie, if you disagree with Kuya P and my opinions, if you think this is the most Predator of Predator films, please tell us in the comments below. Tell us your thoughts. There will be no extra anything after this video. We told basically most of the spoilers that we wanted to tell overall. With that, the film is available still in theaters right now. Get your tickets, and of course, it should be available on Disney Plus here probably in the next 2 months. I would expect by Christmas. So if you really want to hold off, Christmas is about right. So with that, I'll get that article that Kuya P is going to send me up as soon as possible. We will talk to y'all soon.